Hello, my name is Dylan. I'm going to be talking about our literature assignment in which I discussed the story through a reader response lens. I want to make this video as a form of being able for the viewers to understand a little more what I'm speaking about than if I were to have, written it. Whenever I write, I tend to kind of go off topic, and it's hard to understand my ideas as they're presented. So, using this form of interaction or, you know, whatever you want to call it, would prove a little more easier for not just you guys as viewers, but me as somebody who's trying to get my point across. So, what I decided to go ahead and talk about today was The Inhumane Humanity of the Mysterious Stranger by Mark Twain and how that coincides with our society as a whole or even on an individual level. What I mean by inhumane humanity is our persecution of religious beliefs, famine, war, murder, rape, things like that we do as a species that sometimes we see no wrong in, such as putting down a dog when they're sick. We view that as humanity and we view that as, at least they're out of their misery. But the fact still remains is that we are technically killing that dog, so that is technically inhumane. So that's what I mean by inhumane humanity. The Mysterious Stranger does a little bit better of a job than I do, obviously, of, making those comparisons and things. Basically, it's about these three kids in Austria, in a village in Austria. And they come across this guy, and this guy is very perfect. He's beautiful. He performs miracles, but he views humans as cattle, as following the herd, as humans are seen as just low creatures to him. And an example of that would be, well, first off, he's Satan, Lucifer's nephew. Obviously, that's not actually like religiously correct, but for the purpose of the story, that seems to work very well, and it drives the plot of it. This story was written by Mark Twain, before he passed, so he was already kind of older and like a little more out there with his ideas and views, but makes a lot of sense. So the way in which Satan views humanity can be shown through how he created a little village of humans in mud. He was speaking to the boys, and these villagers were building their houses and, living. So one of the little mud villagers got into a fight with another one, and they started getting loud and causing a huge commotion. So what Satan ended up doing was causing an earthquake, smashing them all, and then thus they all died. So as you can see, he really has no regard to human life. But on the topic of what I was saying about inhumane humanity, Satan does these things, and it seems as if it's humane and it seems as if it's nice, but it's technically not. And an example of that is shown when one of the three kids is going to die of a disease here in about a week or so, right? Satan tells the main character that, and the main character is like, well, you know what? Is there anything we can do to save him? And blah, blah, blah. Satan's like, no, like, he's just going to die, and that's it. So what Satan does is he takes it into his own hands, and he ends up killing him. Now, he doesn't view it as wrong because he sees it in the perspective of, well, you know what? This kid was already going to die, so let me just go ahead and put him out of his misery, thus forming the connection back to how we put animals out of their misery in an attempt to be humane. But is that humane? It's not. It's inhumane. Our humanity as a whole in our society throughout the course of years is not humanity, but it's hid behind evil and a cover, a smoke screen that we like to put up, that we like to view ourselves as humane, but we're not. We are driven from inhumanity and inhumane practices throughout the course of many, many years. And it's been shown in our history. It's been shown in religious texts. It's been shown in riots and murders and everything that we are as a society. It's been shown. And oh, that stain is so annoying. So whether you can view that in a huge scope of society, or whether you want to take it personal as an individual on your own level, I would like for you guys to kind of take a step back, look at your views, look at what you would consider humane, and see if it's possibly inhumane. Because that would be a very, if I could, I would gather like a couple people and talk to them and like get their input on video to see, you know, how they act, how they believe, and what they do is actually inhumane or humane. So this is a whole like really good topic that I wouldn't actually mind writing a paper on, because I feel like it could actually be a really good paper. But anyway, so that's the connection that I wanted to make, and that's, you know, what I wanted to talk about today. So yeah. Anyway, once again, I'm Dylan. I am out for the day. So, peace.